Wonderful having you here today. I'd love to hear from you. What brought you, what interested you in what I'm offering today?
Go ahead, Heather.
It just sounded like a good break in my day to kind of like unwind and refocus.
Okay, sounds good.
I thought it sounded good, and I like to connect with women as much as possible. And I thought, oh, this is something interesting. And I'm actually going to be running a women's workshop, and I thought, oh, I would love to see more of what she does.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I am someone who loves meeting other people, who loves learning about them. I'm very curious, you might say nosy in a way. I just love hearing people's stories. And it's just nice to have the opportunity to bring people together for a gathering for a particular purpose so that we can meet and get to know each other. So
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one, Kelly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
Hey Joan, sorry, I have my video off and I was muted. I've been dealing with nothing but tech issues, and so it's a little bit of a, I thought it was fixed and now it's not, and so I'm in a whirlwind.
I'm sorry, but I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah, no, I need it.
I'm so glad we haven't spoken in quite a while, so it's great hearing your voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. What is it about the idea of doing a loving kindness meditation that appeals to you?
It just to kind of get recentered to kind of what's important. And I've been like I said, dealing with tech issues for the past 7 days, which has delayed my launch, and so which is not good. And then and I've had the different health issues with my mom and all that kind of stuff. And so I think this is a good way to um, especially doing a guided meditation but with a group of people is a good way to kind of get out of my own head and my own world. And because I used to meditate a little bit on my own, but when I'm too far into life, so to speak, it's a lot harder to just say, okay, I'm going to take this time to meditate because there's just so many things to do. But if I say, okay, Joan's doing this I'm on the Pacific coast. So if Joan's doing this at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be there. So like I held accountable, you know what I mean? So that's a long answer to your question, I think.
It's fine. You have many very important reasons for being here, and considering, the time. I mean, it's not 7 o'clock in the morning, but still it's relatively early. It's great that you showed up for yourself.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you doing this and reaching out to me and telling me about it.
Absolutely, no problem. My pleasure, my pleasure. So let me tell you a little bit about me. You know a little bit about me, Sam, but for Kelly and Heather's benefit. So I've been a practicing holistic psychotherapist for over 30 years. And in July of 2020, I reached out to a number of the women that I had been working with for quite a while. And I said, we're home. We're not going to be able to go anywhere. Why don't we start a women's group? Would you like that? And they said yes. And so I came up with a topic, which was empowering ourselves. And I came up with, several what we now call module topics, and said, this is how much it's going to be. Are you interested? And they said yes. And that was my first seed launch. I didn't know it was a seed launch. I didn't know what a seed launch was. I started doing online women's empowerment programs in addition to my private practice. And I found it really, really satisfying. The first thought I had about doing some type of women's group online was, I've been a therapist for years, so I know how to engage people absolutely with my hands tied behind my back, no problem. But what would happen if I picked really kind-hearted, loving, caring women and brought them together? What would happen if the people who would naturally give from their heart were with other people who naturally gave from their heart? How would that work? And what I'm about to say is really not bragging, even though it may sound that way. The results of having done this exceeded my wildest expectations, because what happened was, and it made so much sense to me when I look back on it. And listen, I know that I'm good at what I do. People tell me that. I like hearing it, but that's not what this is about. It's not about me. It's about the energy generated between kind-hearted women that are there to be present for themselves and also to help one another, to be with other people that were there to say, let me help you with that. What about doing it this way? Have you thought about this? That was great. You did that. That's wonderful. Let's celebrate your success. And the reason it was so amazingly successful was each of the people within the group brought their own essence, their own energy, and their own intention to be there for others, which then created this synergy and created this magical environment that gave people an opportunity to feel safe enough to talk about their fears, safe enough to look at the things that they learned when they were growing up, safe enough to look at how wonderful they were and wonderful they are, and that wonderfulness was being given to everybody else, and that often it was harder for them to give it to themselves. So it was an opportunity for them to be able to do that. So that's how I got into the online world. I've taught on and off over the last 4 years. I've gone through what probably each of you has gone through, the ups and downs of online teaching, the ups and downs of launches, the ups and downs of all of that. And right this moment, although I have 2 programs that have been really successful, I'm pivoting to do other things. I'm also a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for over 20 years, and I'm a meditation teacher. And I'm not quite sure how, but I came to it very naturally, and I really love guiding meditations, as you will see in just a couple of minutes. I find, and I would imagine you have experienced this also, I find that life is moving so fast, it's hard to keep up. And especially online, life is moving so fast, it's very hard to keep up. And my desire for myself and my desire in the work I'm doing moving forward with people is to find ways to slow stuff down enough so that we can really hear what's going on within and listen. And it's not that we don't want to listen, because we want to listen. We're very good at listening to everybody else on the planet. It's a natural thing for most women, right? It's not as familiar a lot of times to just make that a priority every single day. And so I thought, what better way to offer a space for people to just get together without an obligation for anything else, to just sit with each other and meditate. And so I chose my favorite topic, which is loving kindness. It comes very naturally to me. It gives me tremendous joy when I can be of help to someone else. It's just what I do. And, you know, a lot of women feel that way too. And I think that in the time that we're in and with everything that's going on in the world, we need so much of this. The world needs it, but we need it. Because when we give to others and when we're doing that on a day-to-day basis, and there feels like so much more of a need because of the intensity of what's happening all around us, it's hard to keep our well filled. And so the purpose of this is to offer you a place where you can refill and where you can really tap into what it is that's going on inside. So does anybody have any questions before we start? No. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just very briefly say a couple of things before we get into the meditation. So compassion and loving kindness are 2 related concepts, right? Compassion is when we feel for someone else, a lot like empathy, which is also when we feel for someone else. Loving kindness is compassion in action. So we feel the compassion and then we do something for someone else. So we reach out to them or we send them something and let them know we're thinking. We send them a message. We let them know we're thinking of them. So this meditation is a practice that allows us to give something to other people on an energetic level. It may seem like something you haven't ever experienced before, and hopefully you'll find it helpful. It's also called the Metta Meditation, M-E-T-T-A. Have any of you heard of the Metta Meditation? No. Okay. So it's brand new and it's really different than any other kind of meditation. Let me just find out from you, how many of you have ever meditated before or are meditating? Okay. So everyone. Okay, good. So meditation is the practice, many people say, many teachers have said over the years, meditation is a practice of sitting still and clearing your mind. I don't know about you. I mean, I live in New York City. You cannot, in my opinion, go, I'm going to sit still, still, my mind's clear. It doesn't work. With those instructions, you will not feel that it's possible to succeed. So here's what I say. Meditation is the process of sitting down somewhere rather than lying, because lying, you can fall asleep. It's a practice of sitting down and being with yourself. That's it. And then seeing what happens, whether you're comfortable or uncomfortable, whether you're focused or distracted, you are with yourself as you are, totally not feeling that one way of being is better than another. Because otherwise then judging kind of slips in there, and judging probably will slip in at times in the practice. So if you feel some sense of judging, I'm not doing it right, or I'm not focused enough, just say, oh, interesting, that's coming up. If thoughts like that come up, what I want you to do is I want you to just imagine like a very little pretty balloon and just taking whatever those thoughts are, making them into a 1 or 2 word phrase. Distraction, judging, confusion, frustration, and just popping that word into the balloon and just imagine letting it go. So whenever anything comes up, and knowing that your mind will go different places and just noticing if it does, and then do what you can to come back to what I'm saying. Okay? All right. So there's a little instruction. I'll try to make it brief so we can get into it soon. Okay. Now, I'm going to settle you. I'm going to guide you and settle you in to your seat before we start. And I'm going to just turn my phone off so we don't have any noise. Okay. So basically the practice is saying 6 phrases. I'm going to say it out loud, and then I'm going to ask you to silently repeat it to yourself. We go through this series of 6 phrases, and here are the phrases. They're really nice phrases. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you know love and experience joy. May you feel safe and free from harm. And may you be healed at the deepest level. And what happens is we're going to say those 6 phrases, and they're going to apply to 4 different categories of people. The first category is you. So you're saying to yourself, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, and so on. The next category is a neutral person. So maybe it's someone who delivers your mail or someone you know from a local store. The third person is a person you love, someone important to you, family, friend. And the fourth person is a challenging person, someone with whom you have a challenge now or may have had a challenge with in the past. They may be past or still living. And then we're going to say these phrases for each of those 4 categories. Then we're just going to sit and see what happens. And then from there, I'm going to ask if there's anything that you're aware of, what the experience was like and what's come up. Does anybody have any questions? No. Okay. Heather, Sam, any questions?
Nope.
Okay, good. I'm assuming your answer is no, Sam, so I'm going to, because you're muted, so it's a dead giveaway. She's excited. I'm so excited. You're excited. That's great. I love when people are excited about meditating. Okay. So let's begin. Take a moment to notice your seat underneath you. And if you're sitting in a chair or on a couch where there's a back, notice the back of your seat and feel the connection between your back and the back of your seat. And feel the connection between your body, the bottom of your body, and the seat of your chair or couch, wherever you're seated. And then very slowly begin to bring your breath in a way which feels slow and easy, soft and gentle, steady and comfortable. Slow and easy, soft and gentle, steady and comfortable. Inviting the breath to come in like the tide going in and out of the ocean. And knowing that as we breathe in and out, there's usually a little bit of a pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. So just tap into the rhythm of the breath as you inhale. Notice the pause and then exhale. Inhaling. Notice the pause and exhale. Inviting your body, when it's ready, to begin to soften slowly from the top of your head, down your face, your ears, your jaw, your neck. And if it's not ready to soften yet, that's okay. No pressure, no need for worry. Just an invitation. The shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, the torso front and back, your waist, your pelvis, your legs, your knees, ankles, feet, and toes. And allowing the body to just settle into your seat. And we'll begin by wishing well-being with the phrases I mentioned that I will repeat in a second to yourself. Allow whatever feels right to you to come into your mind. You may be thinking of yourself as you are today. You may be thinking of yourself as a younger person at a younger age, perhaps a tender time when you really needed someone to say this to you. What you decide is up to you, and there's no wrong answer. It's really just what fits right now in this moment. And bringing yourself into your own awareness. And imagining that the present day version of yourself is saying this to that version of yourself, maybe present day or maybe at another earlier time. I'll repeat the phrase and then I'm going to suggest that you just silently repeat it to yourself and let it land. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you know love and experience joy. May you feel safe and free from harm. And whatever this means to you, may you be healed at the deepest level. So breathing those messages into yourself. And just noticing what comes up. And moving on to a neutral person. Bringing someone to mind. It's in your life. There's no particular closeness to them, but there's someone you like or you are happy to see in a more neutral way. And bringing this person into your mind. Share these well wishes with them. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you know love and experience joy. May you feel safe and free from harm. And may you be healed at the deepest level. Just taking a moment to notice what that's like. And shifting your awareness now to a person that you love, or that you admire, a mentor, a close person in your life, or someone who has had or is someone who has meaning for you in your life. And with a picture of them in your mind, repeat these phrases silently to yourself. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you know love and experience joy. May you feel safe and free from harm. And may you be healed at the deepest level. Noticing what that's like. What is it like to wish well to someone you already wish well? And the final one, a challenging person. Again, this could be someone who's living or past, someone with whom you're in a relationship currently or not. And this is often more difficult to do than the others. Often when we have challenges and struggles with someone, we hold a lot of discomfort and pain in our heart. Sometimes we can resolve those situations and improve the quality of our connection, and sometimes we can't. And that can be very disappointing and hurt. Part of the reason for this is to give you an opportunity to wish them well on their way, wherever they go. And it can have benefits from within you as well. So having that person in mind, take a moment to find them. And if it's crowded in there, pick one. We may find there are several people that we feel this way about. So pick the one that feels the most resonant for you in the moment. And then repeat these phrases silently after you hear me say them. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you know love and experience joy. May you feel safe and free from harm. And may you be healed at the deepest level. Just allowing yourself to notice what that was like compared to the well wishes you've offered to these other three categories of people, including yourself. Just let that land. Very slowly beginning with your awareness of what the experience has been like, to deepen your breath, inviting the breath to come in a way which feels slow and easy, soft and gentle, steady and comfortable. Slow and easy, soft and gentle, steady and comfortable. And beginning to bring slight movement into your hands and bringing slight movement into your feet. And if you like, moving your head from side to side or stretching your arms overhead. Coming back to your awareness of your where you're located, the space you're in. And just really honoring everything that came up for you in this experience. In a minute, I'm going to bring us back together as a group and invite you. Let's remember, an invitation is something you can say yes to and you can say no, thank you. Invite you, if you wish to do so, to share what this was like, to share what came up, to share anything that was interesting or surprising about your experience. And if it works for you, Sam, I know you're having trouble with tech, but if it works for you, Heather, you can come back onto video. That would be great. And so I'm going to invite you, those of you who would like to share what this was like and what came up. Anything you want to share. Just come on off of mute and just share what you want to share.
I'll share, Joan. I thought it was very peaceful. But I feel energized now. So like I felt like I may have dozed off, but not for any length of time. But I felt like that calm. And for the challenging person, after we were done, I felt a calm around that person, which normally gets me like
Was that surprising to you?
Not really. Like I thought if somebody can guide me through something that helps me release these feelings, I'd be more than happy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it was
so there was
helpful.
real willingness to do it. Like, yeah, if this is going to help, let me get into this.
Yes.
Good. Well, one
Yes.
of the things that you can do is, as you are preparing to see that, is that someone who's still in your life now?
No,
Okay.
she's not gone, but I decided for my well-being that she needed to be removed from my life.
That's a very, I have done that myself, so I know how difficult the decision that is, and also how important it is. So if the thought of her comes up for whatever the reason, and you start feeling, right, what you can do is you can just sit down and you can just ground yourself and then just do this and just wish her well and just, I'm letting you go. I'm wishing you well, and I'm wishing that your energy be out of my space. Because it's hard when we let someone go, especially if it's someone that we have cared about or we had a relationship with and it didn't work out, whatever it might be. So I'm glad you felt calmer afterward. It's good. Good stuff. So if anybody else wants to share, please feel free.
Yeah, hey Joan, it's Sam. Yeah, it was really, really great. And yeah, I think the hardest one is the when you think about that person you've had angst with, or but so I don't, on my own, I don't think I would have done that. I mean, I never, I don't ever wish people harm, but I certainly wouldn't wish them well on my in a meditation on my own.
Was it hard for you to do it? Sometimes it is hard. Would it,
Yeah, yeah. For this person, yeah, it was. Yeah.
did the way you feel about wishing them well change at all as you repeated more of the phrases to yourself?
Yeah, it made it feel a little lighter.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. What was it like to wish well to yourself?
Refreshing.
Mhm. Good. Some people say afterward, oh, right, I could do that for myself. I forgot. I've been doing it for everybody else. Forgot to do it for me. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see it, because we always um for me, I'm a fixer, and so when I always fix other people's stuff, or pay compliments to their stuff, and you always forget about yourself. Everyone else comes first, I think. I think that's not that natural for women, especially.
Mhm. You're nodding, Kelly. You agree with that? It's not natural for women.
No, no, and actually, and I also work with women on overdoing and trying to kind of pull it back, because it shows up in so many areas of our life when we and I think society puts all of these kind of, I don't even want to say demands, but just like expected. Like the woman's the one that has to find the babysitters, and whether they follow through with doing all of the legwork, it's still the woman is the organizer of all areas of life.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. And especially working from home, like I've always done it. I kind of lost I mean, I never yell or get too mad, but I really, for me, I lost it a little while ago. And when my boyfriend asked me to take his dog to the vet, which I love his dog's like my dog, and I'm happy to do it. But it was on the, but I've had to take my mom to a lot of doctor's appointments and grocery store and all this stuff. And it's like, and I said, oh my gosh, I need everyone to pretend I commute an hour into work and an hour home and pretend I am just not available for 10 hours out of the day.
Yeah. And what I
So I
found,
ended up taking him to the vet.
you are taking him?
I ended up doing it, yeah.
What I have found over the years, it's been a long time since I worked for anybody, but what I found over the years is if you're really good at something, people notice, right? Which could be good, but it also could be a problem, right? Because they're like, oh, she's good at it, and oh, she can do 12,000 things at once. We'll give her 12,001, and it's not going to run over and be too much, and that's why sometimes when that one extra thing is asked of you, it's like, that, that's not fair to me kind of thing, because, just because I'm good at it doesn't mean that you should expect that I'm going to do it. And Kelly, you're absolutely, you're right. It's very true that people have expectations that we as women be the one to set everything up and get everything organized and do all the things. And whether or not we want to do it or whether or not that's the way we live, there's this pressure. And who needs that really? So there's this tug between, I got to do it for them. I got to do it for this. I got to do it for everybody. And what about me? Oh my God, I have no time left for me. Where's the time? I need more time. I'll find time tomorrow. I'll find time next week. I'll find, and then what happens is you get so used to doing for everybody else that it's really hard to find time for yourself. So that's why meditation is such a valuable tool. I have a very close friend who lives in Jerusalem. She's got 5 kids. They're all married with kids, right? She's a grandmother many times over. And many years ago, she's also a therapist. Many years ago, we were talking and she asked me if I would teach her how to meditate. And I did. And she said, okay, now what do I do? When am I going to find time? I have so many different things to do. My kids are looking for me all the time and they have things that they need to, ask or whatever. They have expectations or whatever. How can I find time? And I said, do you think that if you took 10 minutes that your house would burn down? She looked at me, she started laughing. She said, no. I said, are you sure that you don't think your house will burn down if you take 10 minutes? And she was like, no. I said, okay, how about 20? She said, no. I said, okay, here's an idea and you can do with it what you want. How about if you say to everybody between 7 o'clock and 7:20, I am going upstairs to meditate. I'm putting a sign on the door that says, do not knock, do not get in touch. I'm meditating, right? And reminding people, which you'll have to do many, many times over and over again, reminding them not to, and then doing it. Oh, how will they feel? I don't know what's going to happen. I've never done this and whatever and this and that. And she was talking about how she's so busy and she's running and she's always this, that, and the other, well, her kids and whatever, her other responsibilities working. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that if you went upstairs for 20 minutes and clearing your mind or doing whatever practice you were doing to let go of what was in your mind was helpful to you? How do you think you'd feel afterwards? I think I'd feel better. I said, okay, what would that look like? And she started describing it. I said, how would that affect your the way you would respond to your kids, the way you respond to Steve? How do you think it would affect it? She said, I think it would help. I said, okay, so what do you think? She said, I think I should start meditating. And I said, okay, I wish you good luck. Because I said, what you're doing is you're teaching your girls, especially, and she's also her son, but teaching your girls to take time for themselves. And by example, they will see you doing that and they won't feel like they have to run around constantly and never sit still and never take care of themselves. And she's like, okay. So I share that story with you because I think parts of it may be helpful. This is just one practice. I would like to just take a moment to ask Heather if there's something you would like to share about your experience.
I just found it very, very calming and grounding. I usually try to find, some time towards the end of my workday to kind of do something for myself. So I just shifted it today to now, which is kind of nice. It kind of breaks up the day.
Where are you located? Where do you live?
I'm in Toronto,
Okay, which is what
Mm.
time? What time is it there now?
the 12:45.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Right, I'm in Eastern time zone.
Oh, okay. So and Kelly, where are you?
Pennsylvania, we're not too far away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What area of Pennsylvania?
Central Pennsylvania. We live in Selinsgrove.
What a nice name. I like that.
Yeah.
Salem's Grove,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
And to add to it, we live on Sugar Maple Street.
Oh my God, how lucky is that? I want to live on Sugar Maple Street. Sounds like something someone should write a song about. Sugar Maple Street.
Yeah.
That's great. Are you in the country?
We're not. We actually are right in town, but our piece of property is like an island at the end of town, so we don't have any neighbors. I can see my neighbors, but I don't look in their houses, which is what I wanted moving from New Jersey. I did not want to be looking in my neighbor's house.
Ah, Jersey girl. Okay.
Yes,
From the new, as we say, from the New York metropolitan area. I see. Hey, Sam, are you originally from California?
No, I'm actually, I was born in England, and then we emigrated here when I was 7. And so we emigrated to here to Southern California, and then but my daughter graduated UCLA out here. She lives south of you. She's in the financial district.
Manhattan.
So,
That's
yes.
I keep forgetting you're from England. You don't sound like it, so I keep forgetting.
Yeah, no, I lost it when I was too young.
Does your mom have an accent?
Yeah, everyone in my family does. But going to school when I mean back then, the where we moved to was such a small town that they hadn't seen anyone, I don't think, outside of California ever. And so I was the only kind of foreigner in the school, and so I got picked on a lot. So I tried everything I could to lose my accent as quickly as humanly possible.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. Well, you've been very successful at it. How long did you still have it? Do you remember, having it
Um,
for a while or?
It only, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, in my mind, as far as me hearing myself and my family in England hearing me, it didn't take very long. About maybe a year. But to other people here, I still sounded as though I had a bit of an accent, um, but yeah, but didn't take too long. I
How
worked hard.
I'm sure there was a lot of motivation. Who the heck wants to get picked on?
Right.
Yeah, what a shame that so many people, especially young kids, that they don't know how to celebrate differences. They identify it as a point of weakness, which of course it's not.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
well, I'm very grateful you will join me today. And I just want to share that I'm pivoting my work right now. I have 2 programs, as I mentioned, that I've done before and will do again. One is called The Courage to Speak Up, Releasing Fear, Embracing Abundance, and Finding Your Authentic Voice. And the other one is called The Women's Confidence Generator. Those are on the shelf right now because I'm looking to shift into doing some different things. And one of the things I'm looking to do, I'm looking to see how much of an interest people would have. And I know it would be ideal if we could do this in person. Right now, I'm not ready to do one of those, let's go to Maui kind of deals. I'd love that. That would be fabulous. And I know I have colleagues that do it, but a virtual retreat for women of a few hours on the weekend when everybody can do it and doing meditation. I have colleagues that teach yoga and doing a number of different things where we have some breakouts and we share with each other about our own personal experience. There'll be a theme to it. I haven't really gotten that far yet. I was just kind of mulling it over this morning, how it would look. So if you have any interest in it, just let me know. I will be putting it up. I'll be posting it in the group and my many different endeavors online to let people know about it, which is, all about that. So I would love to have you join me. And if you know anybody else who might be interested, you can just point them in my direction. I'm also looking to create a 3 or perhaps a 4-part free meditation video series. So if any of you are interested, this is going to be one of them. And then you can have it and you can use it, you can use it over and over. Now, I am going to be sending you a copy of this so that you have it, because you were nice enough to show up, and I want to show my appreciation by doing that. But the other will be a number of different meditations where you can just pick and choose whichever one you want and use it whenever you like. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll let you know more details as they develop in my brain and in reality. There's so many details in my brain. I can't keep track of them. So can anybody relate to that, having so many details in your brain? Yeah.
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 So many voices too.
So
Which
many, so many what?
Yes, voices. So
Oh.
Joan, when I started meditating, that was a challenge for me, was to make all of those voices shut up. Because it's like constant, and I don't know if everybody is like that. But there's so much going on that sometimes I wonder, when I'm like out in public, if I'm talking out loud to myself.
That's interesting. And how many other people have that happen too? I mean, I know I have sometimes lots going on. Sam, can you relate?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I do catch myself talking to myself out in public, but it's okay. I'm in California, so it's fine.
It's strange though, like when I'm in my house and my husband comes home like unexpectedly or something, and I think, was I talking? Like, did he hear me talking? That I was like chattering away, or when I'm watering the plants, like there could be a lot going on in there.
I can really, Kelly, don't worry.
One of the things that's interesting, and one of the things that I love saying to people, because I have found it helpful myself, and sometimes I forget too. In any given situation you have a choice as you're going through an experience of how you are in relationship to that situation, but also in any given situation, you have a choice of how you are in relationship to yourself. So you could look at the idea of, oh my goodness, I have all this stuff in my mind. I can't believe how much it is there. It's just like, why is there so much? What's going on? How can I clear it out? And does everybody have the same experience? Oh my God, this is crazy. You could go into that mode, which many of us do, right? Well, you could say to yourself, how interesting. There's so much going on up there. I'm wondering what's going on, that there's so much going on up there. Wow. And be curious about it and just be with what it is and say whatever you're feeling, and say it out loud. Speaking out loud when you're by yourself can sometimes be very helpful, right? Say, I'm wondering what would help me to deal with this level of chatter going on, because I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now. It's overwhelming me. Like, to appreciate your experience in the moment of it, or, wow, I'm really busy. I wish I wasn't so busy. I really want to be less busy. Is something I can do to be less busy, as opposed to having the mind take over and then have you feel like you're doing it wrong. Like, mind, you're doing it wrong. Stop doing that, mind. You should do it differently because I don't like it, type of thing. No, we often don't like it when there's a lot going on. I think the key with it is kind of coming back to the reason that I decided to do this meditation to begin with, to ask the question, God, there's a lot going on in my mind. What can I do to bring compassion to myself as I go through this experience of having a lot going on in my mind? What would help me to be compassionate with myself? And what would help me to be patient with my mind that at this moment is really driving me crazy? I'm feeling like I'm being driven crazy by this mind, but I need to say, okay, mind, there's a reason you're doing this. And I really appreciate what you're sharing. I'd really appreciate it if you shared a little bit less, because then I wouldn't feel like my cup is running over, and how can you and I, my mind, and I, how can we come together in a way that feels like it works better? And that's a question to ask yourself in meditation. How can we work together as a team? You're sharing all this stuff with me, and I appreciate what you're sharing, but I mean, it's coming too fast and there's too much, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And what can we do to just slow it down? And meditation can help slow you down and slow your mind down. Are your dogs asking something of you, Sam? I heard them in the background.
Someone had the audacity to walk across the street.
That's all the dog needed, right? That's funny. Bad person.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. If anybody has any last comments, you're welcome to share them now.
I
Okay.
like guided meditation, Joan. So thank you. Because honestly, that was what I realized was I needed a guided meditation. So I use an app because I couldn't silence those thoughts. So redirecting it to a different guided meditation is very helpful to me. Thank you.
I'm glad. One of the things that's important to keep in mind is not every meditation is going to work for you. And what some meditation, while one meditation will work for one person, it may not work for another. So you may listen to someone's voice. This is my thing sometimes. I listen to someone's voice on these apps. I have a number of them. And the voice doesn't, I don't resonate with the voice, or I don't resonate with the pace the person is guiding. So I tend to guide very gently and leave space so that people can just really have their experience of it. Some people, when they're guiding, they're talking and they say, now focus on this, now focus on that, now focus on this, now focus. So, and it's just done in a way that feels like it needs to be slower for me. So I'm glad that you found it helpful.
Thanks.
So I'm going to be doing some more of these also, and I'll let you know. In addition to getting the series done, these are going to be practice sessions in a way. Well, I've done them before, but there'll be an opportunity for me to share with other people, and I will let you know what I'm doing and keep you up to date as I develop more things. And I would love for you to join me. I have no date on the calendar for the retreat. I'm going away on vacation tomorrow. I'm going to Florida tomorrow, and I don't really know when that's going to be, but there's a lot cooking up here in my brain, and I will let you know as soon as I have more details to share.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Joan.
You're very welcome. Take good care. Have a
Bye, ladies.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You
Bye.
too. Good
You guys
vacation.
too.
Thank
Yeah.